Happy Saturday. How is everybody? This is Wanda D, your host. I talk like I'm on my show, right? Y'all know me. The Motivational Queen. We are into our 21 day of motivational mastery, day 6. Day 6. Hey, Renee. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Y'all, everybody say happy birthday to Renee. It's her birthday. It's her birthday. Oh, it was yesterday. So, we're getting started. I know it's not 6 o'clock, but I was experiencing some some technical difficulties, I should say. The internet was down this morning. So, I made an executive decision. I said, well, I can just not go on at all, or I can go on when things get right. It went down last night. Thank you. Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. I love the hearts. Share. Like. So when it came back up, I said, okay, well, let me do it, because then I would have to play catch up, or I would have to figure out, okay, how can I squeeze in this extra day? Thank you. And so I said, well, whenever it comes back up, then that's when I'll go on. And so that's what I'm doing. And I appreciate that I made that decision, because I really feel like that's pretty much how life is. You know, we'll be late, and so we have to make a decision. Which do we go on? One of my mentors used to say, you know, you just press the restart button. You just press the restart button. And when you talk about self motivation, then that's exactly. Hello, Lauren. How are you? You know, I was thinking about you. I said, I got to talk to you, because I wanted you to come and do something on the real estate side and talk to some people. But anyway, it's nice to see you. So, you know, because that's how life is, and we constantly have to push that reset button when stuff stops, or when things happen, when things get in the way, you know. And I said, well, the server's down, so do I not go on, or do I just wait and, you know, go on when things get right? So I'm glad that that I made that choice, because that's what we have to do when we set our goals. Sometimes we're not able to walk it out in the way that we want to, and we always have to make changes, and we got to be willing to make changes. And I guess that falls in the line of thank you for the thumbs up. That falls in the line of that self-discipline part of being motivated, keeping your motivation going. You have to have a level of self-discipline that will keep you on that path, so to speak. You know, we talked about, on day 1, we talked about prayer and meditation and reflection, you know, those things of getting you in that moment. And sometimes, you know, that you have to stop and do that at midday, and you have to do that again at night, you know. There's never too much of getting recommitted and put yourself into that self-discipline state. But today I wanted to share with you about using those index cards that we talked about, writing that one goal, you know, that one thing. I know you got this whole list of goals, but for that index card that you put your one major goal on, let's talk about breaking that down. Okay. Now, you know, the point of this is to get you into that, like realignment, or just aware, that putting you in that state of awareness where you like, if you read something and you keep reading it over and over and over and over again, then it'll finally soak in. So that's the point and the purpose of the index card with that one goal, one major goal. Now remember that. So on your index card, on one side you have your scripture, asking it shall be given to you, seeking you shall find it, knocking the door shall be answered. You read that minimum 3 times a day, and on your flip side is where you have your major goal. So now let's talk about the major goal. There is some more work that you have to do on that major goal. One thing is you need to break it down. And I would say that you should break down that particular goal, write no less. Good morning, darling. Happy rising, Miss Amber. You should write down no less than 20 things associated to that major goal. So for example, if that major goal was reducing in weight, and you say, okay, well, my major goal is your major goal is very specific. It could be, for a woman, it could be a certain size. Like I want to be a size, 10 or 5 or 14 or whatever that size is. And you say, now you're going to get into, thank you. Now you're going to get into breaking down that one major goal, being that you had a specific size in mind. Now, all of the stuff that go with that. So it could be what to eat, activity, people, places, all of this stuff. Write it down. So that keeps you focused on that one major goal, because as you walk through this alignment of consciousness and being aware. Happy rising to you, Tanya, Latanya. Girl, your sun showed out. Okay, but that's for another day. We'll talk about that later. So, we walk this path out, right? We have our one major goal in front of us, but we have like at minimum 20. I would say write until you can't stop, but I'm asking you to do 20, because then you'll purposefully write 20 goals down, or 20 associated goals with the main goal. And for you all that haven't been keeping up with our 21 day, you can go back and watch the other videos and kind of get a little bit more insight on that. But so as you go through your day, then you're pulling those little goals that goes with that big goal. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you say, okay, well, if my plan is reducing in weight, and if it's getting a certain size, that's my main goal. Then here's my little goal. Oh, I want to make sure that I go to like maybe it's going grocery shopping, 3 times a week, twice a week, once a week, whatever that looks like. Happy rising, Leah. Thanks for joining. So you see what that looks like. And then you say, well, as you move through that process, you would start to see it. Because what happens in goal setting and what happens in staying on track is you don't see things fast enough. Right? So therefore we put it aside. We say, well, you know what, forget about it. And you'll come back to it like 6 months from now or a year from now, because you'll be in that very same place, right? A year from now. Look over your life and see where you've written down a goal, you started something, and then you just said, forget it. For whatever reason. And of course you had a good excuse. We're full of excuses. Oh, well, it was hot out. It was cold out. I stopped walking because, the street wasn't as clean as it used to be. It got dark earlier. It got dark, sooner, later, whatever your excuse is. And there are excuses, because when it comes down to the goal, to setting the goal, you have to know that it means enough to you. And so that's part of that self-discipline that we're talking about today. Self-discipline is finding a reason to stay committed. It's an inside job. Remember, when we set down this path of self-mastery, it's all about the work that you have to do on the inside. Motivational mastery is about an inside job. But then if you have all these tools in front of you, then there's no excuse. You move the excuses out of the way. You say, well, I have my one goal in front of me. And I'm going to keep saying this because I want it to just really sink in. So you got this one major goal in front of you. And then you've taken time and you've written 20 other things associated with that one major goal. And now you don't have a problem with that. Now that removes all of the excuses because you can pull out one of those one associated goals to keep it going. Okay, so I got it. It's kind of like running uphill, and it's be hard and it hurting, and then after a while the pain becomes a little bit more bearable. I know when I was in the process of writing my book, it seemed like it took forever, and it's because the project was done, and then there was always something going arise with it, like, fell out with this or with that, or some issues kept going. But when you have that determination, I was like, you know what, I don't give a damn. This is gonna happen. No matter how many times they tell me to take it back and do something else, because when it comes to staying self-disciplined, you have to remove all of the excuses. Yes, Amber, excuses are the enemy to progress. They certainly are. When we really wrap that around our head and know, I have a piece in my book, and it talks about I'm expecting things to get in the way so I can claim the victory. If you don't have the things in the way, then it's too easy, and it's like, whatever. But when you can say, you know what, despite all of these problems, despite all of these issues, I still overcame them, and that's part of your story. And it's for somebody else. Remember I said about when you figure out something, then you have to know that it's not just the responsibility is not just for yourself, but it's to give and it's to help other people. So when you figure out something, then you should be like, you know what? Let me share this with you. I know that this is what you're working on, so let me share with you the way that I'm doing it. So in talking about being self-disciplined, it's also another key point of that is to watch your associations. Who you associate with is one of the very big component to completion. Now, it won't stop you, but it can hinder you or slow you down. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful of, I say friends are in all categories. You got your party friends, you got your friends about town, about business, and you got your friends that kind of like just go with the flow, whatever, don't have a lot, not too much going on. So if you're in this process of completing a project, or say for instance, I'm gonna use the scenario of weight loss. You are in a moment where you say, you know what, I got to make some serious changes. Who are the people that I can go to help me stay on track? Those are the ones that I need to communicate so we can be held accountable together. I'm a big advocate of accountability. I know that if you don't have someone that will tell you when you're wrong, will help guide you along that way, then you will stay stuck. You can stay stuck longer. And that's what you don't want to do. Hey, Miss Kathy Cakes. Thanks for joining and Miss Rhonda. Yes. So again, you want to just be mindful of what you do. Now, so let's just recap. Or you know what, better yet, we're not going to totally recap, because I really encourage you to go back and watch those other chapters or other tapes. for because we saved them. They're on Facebook and they're also on our YouTube channel. So from the 20th up to now, every day we dropped in some tips. We're just expounding on the other day when we talked about writing down one specific goal. And then I shared with you this morning how writing down at least 20 things associated with that one thing. And that's where I want to leave you at. I want to leave you with those assignments, because then it'll start to fit together and it'll piece together. It's more to just writing down goals. It's more to just having these ideals. You got to have a plan, and that's what we're going to talk about more next week. So I hope y'all doing super fantastic this Saturday I'm in the ATL, and hopefully I'm hoping that the sun will come out, but if it doesn't, that's okay, because we're going to do some great things today. And you all remember to say happy birthday to Renee. She's in our little chat box here. It's her birthday yesterday. So I look forward to spending some more time with you guys tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Today we were a little late getting started because the server and stuff was down, computer problems. But just remember those things. And I'm gonna say this one last time for right now. Our self discipline is just that. It's self-discipline. It's what you have to do to make sure that you can stay true to what you said. Now, I didn't say you wanted to accomplish these things. You said you wanted to accomplish them. So we just want to make sure that we get it done. So enjoy your Saturday. I love you all. This is Wanda D, the Motivational Queen, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.